Hey everyone, welcome to week 5. Going to take a couple minutes just to let you know what is in store for you this week. You might still be working on some items from week 4. That's okay. Try to get them finished as soon as you can, especially project part 2. Try to get that in. You're going to get assigned the rough draft next week, so you definitely want to get that part submitted so you can get my feedback on it. Make sure you're in good shape before that rough draft is assigned. But for this week, after you take the week 5 attendance quiz, you'll have access to the lessons and assignments in the module. After the week 5 attendance quiz, the first item you'll see in the module is a brief review of week 4. And then our first lesson this week is on drafting research papers. So there's a video where I go over the drafting research papers PowerPoint and a couple of sample outlines, and the links to those will be found under the video. But that's a really useful video, useful PowerPoint that gives you some pointers on how to go about starting the draft, right? Excuse me. The next lesson is on integrating sources, right? So as you draft, at some point during the drafting, you're going to have to start incorporating information from your sources, which might sound easy, but isn't as clear-cut as it might seem on the surface. There's definitely a bit of an art form to making sure that you integrate source material effectively. So that lesson has a video where I go over the integrating sources PowerPoint. The link to the PowerPoint will be under the video. But not only does it explain why you need to work on integrating the sources smoothly, how to go about it, with a summary, a paraphrase, and a direct quote, but it actually gives you a 4-step process for how to create a good paraphrase that does not run the risk of accidental plagiarism. So that's a pretty important part of that lesson. It can be super useful for you. So make sure you go through that lesson. And then we have the homework for this week. You have Journal 5. There'll be a video in the instructions that explains what you need to do. It's due Sunday at 11:59. Then you have an assignment on integrating sources. An assignment that's going to give you some practice doing all the things that I talk about in that lesson. There'll be a video in the instructions. Definitely watch that video because part of that assignment can be a little tricky. So you want to make sure that you hear me explain it so that you understand what you need to do in each part of the assignment. And it's due 11:59 on Sunday. And then, of course, you have your week 5 discussion. Try to have your first post up by Thursday night. And don't forget to respond to 2 classmates before it closes Sunday night at 11:59. If you have any questions or run into any problems with anything as you're working on the material this week, please let me know. Otherwise, you are free to go ahead and get started.